I didn't think it was going to happen today, but I made it, friends. We're going to just do a random video game stream tonight. I got some things to talk about. We are going to play Mortal Kombat. We got to play some Mortal Kombat. But let's check in with some homies really quick. I thought it'd be fun. It's Friday night. Things are popping off. I was just saying hi to my new friend here. Cat Karma. She's playing...
Where were you at, Lulu? Were you on the other
She's
side?
currently playing Monster Hunter, which looks fun. She looks like she's having a good evening.
Yeah, I found one much closer so that way I could do some... what happened?
No, Red Lulu.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, I probably need to give you guys sound. There we go.
I got it. I was feeling
So I said what's up to Cat Karma. She's awesome. She's friends with David. David's a regular dude who's called into the show quite a bit. Love David. Grew up with David down the street from where I'm at right now, actually. Spent a lot of time watching movies together and playing video games, so it's always great to make new friends on here. I don't think any more of my personal friends are on here, but Frank Halley's great. Let's see what Frank Halley's doing.
I think he knew that as well.
He's watching WCW. Good old Frank Halley. Maximilian Dude's playing some dumb fighting game. Love Maximilian. Meat Canyon is usually on Friday nights. Oh, we got
What are you doing?
no free advertisement, Meat Canyon.
Don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American
Ugh.
Family's roof.
The bigger channels are gonna
How
have
it works.
advertising, I guess. It's gotta make money somehow. I think Meat Canyon's playing Arena.
By bundling your home and auto with us.
Probably one of my favorite animators. Yeah, he's playing some Arena here. And he's singing. Okay. And then Mega 64's got this really cool stream going on. I'm gonna mute them. What is it? The Stroke of Midnight. They're just on here making like personal channel videos, which is really cool to me. I don't think these guys. They have 1,000 viewers right now. Meat Canyon's got 590. Maximilian has 11,000, which is even higher because he's also streaming on YouTube. But I'm making friends. Cat Karma's definitely somebody I could. She got on and chatted the other day, so it's always cool to make friends with people, man. Because I would like to start having more interaction with people on here. I think it would be fun to have more audience engagement and whatnot. So I'll try and get the Discord and stuff going this summer, I think. I got a couple more months left of work, and then I have a pretty long vacation coming up with the kids and everything. So I'll be doing my Space Dog Maniac stuff. Tomorrow I'm gonna be busy. Charlie and I are we got a couple projects we're working on. We haven't even touched the Space Dog Maniac's like third run of things. I'm still trying to catch up and do stuff that I wanted to do before I got to that. So plus I gotta get some like costumes and stuff. We're gonna go crazy this year. I got a monster I need to make. Yeah, I got some ideas, man. I'm enjoying this filmmaking stuff. But so yeah, cool Friday night. My wife just went to bed and I was like, I'm gonna go play some Mortal Kombat. I'm not quite tired just yet. I'm getting there. Had a long day. We got up and we worked on the roof of our house, and I made my wife dinner. My wife and kids dinner. I made a fancy pasta dish. I got some sausage, like the sausage that comes in the condom things that you squish out. I did all that, man. I went gambling. My wife and I took my parents gambling last night. That was fun. I won like $80. It was pretty fucking cool. Technically, I won like $105 because I won $25 ticket to gamble, but I ended up I guess that went. I ended up with probably about $50 extra. I evened out because I bought everybody dinner and stuff. It was a good night. Of course, my wife walks away with like hundreds of dollars. Shit, she's the gambler between the two of us. Okay, So, anyways, we got home. I made dinner. I watched RoboCop today. I had a really good day. My vacation's almost over. I go back to work on Monday, which means I'm going to be back to being busy. I won't be able to stream as much or make as many videos. And I get really busy. About April's like the Super Bowl of my career field. Like, I got shit going on. You know, I gotta focus on work. I have a awesome job that I take very serious. So like when it's go time, it's go time at my job. So anyways, my wife and I, we ended up we watched a couple movies tonight. We watched the 1996 Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, and what's her name? I forgot her name. Claire Danes, thank you. I've never seen that before. My wife picked that one. It was interesting. It was a really weird, interesting movie. It was fun. So, the movie I picked, I had no idea who Frank Grillo is. Grillo? Am I saying that right? But, I had this movie kind of hyped up for me. And I was like, alright, dude, I'll watch this. This looks cool, right? And the way it was hyped up to me was somebody compared this movie to Dog Soldiers. So I looked it up on Facebook and like I saw other comparisons to Dog Soldiers. So I had somebody tell me it's like Dog Soldiers. I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but if you've never seen Dog Soldiers, it's like one of the best werewolf movies ever made, period. It's so fucking good. It's one of my favorite movies, period. It doesn't even matter that it's a werewolf movie, it's just a good fucking movie. Why am I drawing a blank? Neil Marshall. Jeez. Neil Marshall would go on to do he started with Dog Soldiers, I think 2003. He would go on to do The Descent, Doomsday, which was awesome. I fucking love Doomsday. As well as like he worked on Game of Thrones and he more recently he did a monster movie a year or two ago that I really liked, but it wasn't like Dog Soldiers level. I'm not a big fan of The Descent, to be honest with you, but people fucking love that shit. People loved The Descent. Neil Marshall's cool though. I mean, he worked on Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones is so good. Anyways, so I was like, okay, I do like practical effects. I have no clue who Frank Grillo is though. But people like him a lot. Like that was the other thing I saw when I looked into this movie, all this hype on Frank Grillo. And I was kind of confused because his name's on the top there. I was like, did he direct this? So while we were watching the movie, I started kind of doing some research. The movie was great. It was fine. It was not... Hold on. Let me take that back a second. It was not fucking the same level, even anywhere near the same league as Dog Soldiers. Let me give you a rundown of what I think is like a really good werewolf movie. American Werewolf in London is like one of the perfect werewolf movies ever made. Like American Werewolf in London is probably the best werewolf movie in my opinion. I love The Howling. American Werewolf in London is a little bit higher than The Howling for me, just because of the personality involved in American Werewolf. What else? That's always been like my favorite. And then Dog Soldiers, which is Night of the Living Dead with werewolves, basically. It's so fun. And then my third favorite is probably Ginger Snaps. I really love Ginger Snaps. It's the tragic of the three. Dog Soldiers is off the wall, like action craziness, soldiers fighting werewolves in a house all night and trying to live. American Werewolf in London is a very creative take on the classic, Lon Chaney Jr. and like Wolfman movies. Kind of tried. It's still tragic. You kind of have to have that tragic feel to a werewolf movie, right? Like you got to feel bad for the person that's turning into the werewolf as well. Which Ginger Snaps, great. Ginger Snaps mixed with a young teenager going through the joys of puberty. Hey, Cat Karma, I just showed your stream too. Thank you. She's lurking me. We're gonna try and I don't know if she's down, but David and I are gonna try and get her to play Baldur's Gate with us probably. We'll see if she's interested. I'm thinking about. I haven't really thought about like what class I want to do. I'm thinking drunken monk, dude. So, anyways, I like werewolf movies. Like they're cool, they're fun. So while doing my research, I was like, this could be cool. I know this is gonna be really silly. Nowhere near Dog Soldiers. I think it's kind of insulting to compare this movie to Dog Soldiers. But I looked up, I was like, who directed this? Like, Frank Grillo didn't direct it. He was one of the executive producers, right? And then I saw the name. I believe it's Stephen C. Miner, right? Yeah, it is Stephen C. Miller, sorry. Stephen C. Miller, a Georgian filmmaker, I believe. And then I looked at IMDb and I was like, that name's familiar. And then it hit me. One of the most notorious, worst fucking movies I have ever seen in my life. I was so excited to see this. I got it for $9 at Walmart. I had looked at it for a couple weeks beforehand. I was like, somebody was like, dude, you gotta see Automaton Transfusion. Because I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I love zombie movies. And I was looking at the cover and I was like, that's a pretty cool cover, man. One of the best zombie films in decades. Unrated and undead. Look how fun this looks, man. Check out the back, guys. Let's look at the back of the DVD. The holy grail of true independent horror films. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm a huge fan of movies like The Dead Next Door. And, like, I like independent films, especially independent, like, zombie films, right? The Battery was really good. I mean, the thing that kind of, like, really inspired me, personally, like, to want to make movies would be Night of the Living Dead and, like, Evil Dead, right? And I know people will go, Evil Dead's not a true zombie movie. Yeah, it is. It's a fucking zombie movie, dude. It's one of the best zombie movies ever made. They totally did their own thing with that movie. So I was like, alright, cool, man. This looks really cool. Look at all these special features. There's a commentary and everything. This is going to be so much fun. I bring this movie home. This is in 2009. I was in the Air Force, and I was living with my buddy Parker, and I remember watching this. And I've even thought about like watching this movie here on a stream to just show you how fucking terrible this movie is. This movie is absolute garbage. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's so bad, so dumb, hyped up, garbage. And a lot of these Dimension Extreme movies were pretty fucking terrible in hindsight. It's just bad. Nothing, no redeeming qualities to this movie. Even like, I went in and like looked at like, oh, his short film's on here too. Jeez, I like watched the music video and like I went in and like looked at the making of Automaton Transfusion and just listened to this guy talk, and I was just like, I do not care for this filmmaker. And I'm usually pretty like, if I don't like something, I don't talk about it. Dude, I've been bagging this movie since 2009. It came out in 2006, but I think, when did it come out? This is 2007. I bought it in 2009. Worst fucking movie ever. It's in the garage. I think I've talked shit about this within the last 2 or 3 years. I hate this fucking movie. So I was just like, oh shit, dude. The same guy who did Automaton Transfusion did the movie I decided to spend $6 on tonight. Man. To be fair, and this isn't saying much, to be fair, this movie was way better than Automaton Transfusion, but I think most movies are better than Automaton Transfusion. One of the best zombie films in decades. I'm looking at the DVD, I'm like, oh, BloodyDisgusting.com said that. Oh. It's a movie review company that, you know, makes movies. That's shady. Let's look at the back. Who the fuck said this was a holy grail? Oh. It's just Bloody Disgusting that liked it. And especially at that time, like, Bloody Disgusting was like not my horror website. So I don't know, man. Fuck that movie. We might talk more about Automaton Transfusion in the future. That movie to me is like every fucking buddy my age, every like wannabe filmmaker, every aspiring horror movie maker has like dreamed of making a zombie movie. And I used to be somebody that'd be like, everybody should make a zombie movie. Like, just make one cool zombie movie, right? I love Resident Evil. I love George Romero's movies. It's not a hard to access like thing to pursue to make a zombie movie, right? You just kind of need to get a group of people that want to have fun, and you can make a zombie movie. I used to think everybody could do it until I saw Automaton Transfusion, and I went, oh, this guy grew up and he thought he had like the best idea for a zombie movie, and he literally did everything that he shouldn't have done to make this movie. Like, I don't even know how to... the best way for me to tear that movie apart would be to watch it and do a commentary on it. I haven't watched it. You know, it'd be fucking funny. So I haven't watched that movie in 16 years. I watched it once and I went, this is fucking terrible. It'd be funny to watch it, and it'd be even funnier if I ended up liking it. I don't think it's possible, though. If I recall right, that movie's bad. It's a bad movie. And I like I said, I like The Dead Next Door. That's not a very good movie, but it's so much better than... Whatever. Alright. Werewolves. Check it out or don't. There was practical effects. Very good. Very good. They weren't as good. The werewolves didn't look as good as Dog Soldiers or Ginger Snaps or any American Werewolf in London, which is like 40 years older than this movie. The acting was terrible. The decisions made by the people were pretty stupid for the most part. Here's the thing. I'm gonna wrap this up. Here's the thing about this movie. Once a year, there's a supermoon. And if the moonlight hits you, you're going to turn into a werewolf. So everybody's a werewolf in this world. As long as you stay out of the moon, as long as the moonlight doesn't hit you, you won't turn into a werewolf. But if you go into the moonlight, you're going to turn into a werewolf. So everybody's like fucking barricading themselves into their houses. There's like a group of scientists trying to figure out, they're calling it moon screen. Get it? Like sunscreen, but for the moon. To maybe keep you from turning. The only thing these fucking people have to do to not get eaten by werewolves, I would presume, would be to go out in the moonlight and turn into a werewolf. If everybody in this movie had just gone out and turned into werewolves, the threat of being eaten by werewolves is gone. Do you get the plot hole here? The whole movie I'm watching, I'm like, just go out into the moonlight and just be a werewolf. You'll be okay. Like, there's like people trying to shoot the werewolves. They're all getting munched on. There's like the effect of being a werewolf. There's no drawback to it. You would have to have it so like you couldn't turn back, right? Or you know, you're gonna be like mutated after the fact. But if your biggest threat is something that can eat you, that you can also turn into if you just walk out into the moonlight, it's a flawed thing. Like, only certain people should turn into werewolves, right? Or I don't know, man. This movie made me think about Sonny Fernandez's werewolf movie, which probably cost maybe $200 to make. I don't know, Sonny. He might have spent a little bit more than that. Sonny Fernandez made his own werewolf movie around this time. No, excuse me. He made a werewolf movie around 2000, around the time Automaton Transfusion came out. And for nothing, dude. Like, he made his werewolves in his apartment, and that movie's so good. Cold-blooded, dude. So good. Great ending to it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't hate it. I didn't hate it like Automaton Transfusion, but I thought I'd talk. I just thought it was so funny. I watched this movie and I was like, oh, fuck. It's the guy who made fucking Automaton Transfusion. One of my least favorite movies I've ever seen in my life. With that said, I don't know the guy. I don't know the filmmaker. I watched his making of on Automaton Transfusion. I was like, oh, whatever, dude. I don't like this guy. But, he's not quite to the level of, like, I don't know, Gregory Lamerson. Like, fuck Gregory Lamerson. I fucking hate that guy. I genuinely dislike that human. It's so funny because I have friends who've, like, worked with him. They're like, he's the nicest guy ever. I'm like, fuck Gregory Lamerson. We'll talk about Gregory Lamerson some other time. I'm done being negative. Try to keep it positive on here with the movie stuff. But, yeah, you know, you sometimes run into people that you're like, this guy's a piece of shit. And he also makes really bad movies. Which is funny because, like, what was his name? Stephen C. Miller, made one of my least favorite movies. That werewolf movie was pretty fun, so maybe he is a really cool guy. I don't know. Gregory Lamerson, I can't stand. I think he's a fucking dickhead. He's just such an ass face. He's an over-opinionated prick. He's made some great movies. Slime City is such a good fucking movie. Like, I'll still watch his movies. Just fuck the guy who made them. But, man, his more recent movies are... Okay, I'm done. I'll behave.